He is worried because he wants to talk to you. Don't answer that call. Those were the first words she said when she saw your phone lit up with his name. She tried to sound calm, but her hands were shaking. She had never cared who he spoke to before. She never questioned his phone calls, his messages, or where he went after work. But this time was different. This time she looked frightened. Why? Because she knew something you didn't. The man who once walked away from you without looking back had been carrying a secret for months. He had spent all that time pretending his new relationship was perfect. He smiled in public, posted happy pictures, and allowed people to believe he had made the right choice. Behind closed doors, everything was falling apart. The woman he chose noticed the changes before everyone else. He stopped laughing the way he used to. He spent long minutes staring at old pictures on his phone. Sometimes he could not start talking about random memories that had nothing to do with the present. He wasn't saying your name, but she knew exactly who he was talking about. At first, she ignored it. Then she became suspicious. One evening, while cleaning the living room, she found a notebook hidden inside a drawer. It wasn't a diary, it was just a place where he wrote down thoughts he never wanted anyone to read. One sentence caught her attention. I never lost her because she wasn't enough. I lost her because I wasn't ready to value what I had. She read it again and again and again. For the first time, she realized she wasn't competing with another woman. She was competing with regret. From that time forward, everything changed. When your name came up in a conversation, she changed the subject. When someone mentioned you, she became uncomfortable. She even told him some people belong in the past. He simply replied, not every past is meant to stay buried. That answer terrified her. She began checking his phone whenever he was asleep. She watched every notification. She never asked mutual friends whether they had spoken to you recently. She wasn't trying to protect the relationship, she was trying to protect the lie she had been living. The one then one afternoon, something happened that changed everything. She quietly said, I need to talk to her. He didn't say he wanted to get back together. He didn't say he wanted another chance. He simply wanted one honest conversation. But for the woman beside him, that was enough to make her panic. That was enough to make her panic because she understood something many people don't. Real closure can reopen doors that lies have kept shut. She knew he had never told you the whole truth. He had blamed you for problems that were actually his. He had allowed other people to believe you were the reason the relationship ended. He had walked away without taking responsibility. Now his consequences refused to stay silent. She couldn't stop him from feeling guilty, so she tried to stop him speaking to you. She from speaking to you. She became sweeter overnight. She planned surprise dinner. She bought gifts. She suddenly became everything she thought he wanted. But none of it brought him peace. One evening, he finally admitted the truth. I'm not trying to get back, he said. I'm trying to apologize because I have carried this weight for too long. Those words hit her harder than she expected. She realized that when someone genuinely wants to make peace with their past, no amount of control can stop them. The next day, your phone rang. You looked at the screen for several seconds. He had you had every reason not to answer. You remembered the tears, you remembered the silence, you remembered how easily he walked away. But you also know something important. Listening doesn't mean returning. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. Sometimes a conversation is simply the final chapter that allows both people to move forward. When you answered, there was no excuse, no blaming, no manipulation, only one sentence: I'm sorry for making you question your worth. When the real problem was my own immaturity. That was a long sentence. Then you thanked him for the apology and wished him well. That was all. You didn't ask him to come back. You didn't remind him of his mistake. You didn't try to prove anything, because while he had spent months looking backward, you had spent those same months building a new life forward. And that was the part nobody expected. The woman who feared losing him discovered that your greatest strength was never winning him back. It was becoming someone who no longer needed him to feel completed. Sometimes the conversation people fear the most isn't the one that starts a relationship again, it's the one that finally sets someone free. If you enjoy real relationship stories that reveal the truth people try to hide, subscribe, because another powerful story is waiting for you tomorrow.